Welcome back to part 2 of the Garden Report. This one is brought to you by Energy, Pace, and a 3-guard lineup because this game was won on, I believe it was a 16-3-1 run to open up the fourth quarter, including kind of those last free throws at the end of the third quarter as the lights go out. Because this game was so intense, the lights couldn't even stay on. Terry Rozier lights out on the rebounding. He had 4 rebounds, all defensive rebounds, in the fourth quarter. I thought a big part of that run was Terry Rozier crashing the glass, Jason Tatum streaking down the floor, trying to beat guys in transition. You know, I asked Jason Tatum about what did it mean to be able to just kind of explode in transition and beat everyone down the floor, and his response was, we ran out in transition and beat guys down the floor. Very, very eloquent answer from Jason Tatum tonight. But Terry Rozier talked about the next man up, and that is a phrase that we've heard a lot with this team. It's a phrase we've heard a lot with sports teams in general because it's a common cliche, but we're seeing it being actually spoken into fruition with this team right now. Kyrie goes down, and we saw tonight Rozier and Shane really step up their games early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk Terry Rozier, next man up, and I know we're going to touch on him some in this segment, but Shane Larkin, next man up. That's really going deep down into your bench right there and getting some production.
That's all the men next up.
That is all the men up is what that is. And Shane Larkin, I think he had – let me see if we're right here. I think he had zeros across the board on the box score, but dropped 16 points in that game as a plus 15. So he was out there literally just to fill that scoring hole that had to come from somewhere tonight. And if you don't get those 16 points from Larkin, there's no way the Celtics are sniffing this game. So they needed that type of miracle, and they got it. Larkin, Rozier in that tiny lineup pushing the pace in the fourth quarter and just getting out and going. Rozier, as you mentioned, always we talk about his rebounding skills, but that was big, just getting the ball and pushing it. And once again, we said it in part 1. I don't know how we're sitting here talking about a Celtics win tonight, but we are.
Well, we're not because we're standing, actually. And I think that was the impressive part was they stood tall. You know, even Gershon Yabusele, who got lit into by Stevens at the end of the first half because he didn't foul Dwight Howard at the right time before that 2-minute threshold was crossed. He came back out there and gave them a solid run. It's like everybody was resilient tonight.
Gershon had kind of his rookie learning moment tonight by just doing a lot of the wrong thing, but was solid enough in the end to, you know, stay on the floor for some minutes. We're probably going to see him in a Maine Red Claws uniform learning a few more of those things later on, but he was solid enough tonight, and they needed him with that lack of bodies.
Okay, so Kyrie Irving doesn't play Toronto against Toronto on Sunday. Do you think the streak comes to an end then?
It's got to come to an end at some point. Look,
I mean, they could go 80-2. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
If Kyrie is not there on Sunday, it's going to be really hard to bottle up that energy that they had tonight and put that on the floor again on Sunday with not much rest against a better team than the Charlotte Hornets. You got to think the odds are stacked against the Celtics in that situation, but I will not put anything past this team after what they showed me tonight. I'm still stunned after that win. How'd they do it?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to Terry Rozier's 20-point game with probably like 8 turnovers against
Shane
Toronto.
Larkin's going to need 32
probably.
On Sunday.
Maybe
we'll get it.
But I think what's good is to see that while there was a lot of ISO play in the fourth, and it's still an issue whenever Horford is out, the next man up thing is working from the regard of that they have talent throughout the roster, and they're able to put them into the same system and continue to execute the system well enough that they're getting by in these games, which is something that's something that Stevens has touched on a few times here, and it's a testament to, I keep asking Stevens these questions, and he keeps telling me that it's bad coaching, which I'm pretty sure he's really pissed off at me about.
Jared's really been grinding Brad Stevens' gears lately.
I try to ask positive coaching questions,
Brad
giving
Stevens
him credit.
Does not like
he doesn't
Jared
like
Weiss.
it. It's probably true, but I hope not. But the big thing I'm taking away from this is that whatever he's saying about the coaching isn't working, sure, it isn't on like a couple issues, like, yeah, things pop up. But on the whole, this is an incredible coaching job by Stevens. I tweeted earlier in the game, if they win this game tonight without Kyrie, they should throw a parade for Brad Stevens. And now I'm being held responsible for organizing an entire parade in Boston.
Yeah,
I don't have the permits for it. I need the mayor's office in my corner. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
If you want to talk about Brad Stevens' bad coaching just real quick, that's obviously him being humble in these post-game press conferences.
And deflecting blame from his players.
And deflecting blame from his young players that are new to seeing the court. But this type of offense that's working within this system, that is like college basketball or like football where you just plug guys into the system. In the NBA, you need the players. You need the horses to go out there and get buckets and win games. And it's unbelievable how the Celtics have just been plugging guys in and getting the same result. It wasn't. It was ugly tonight. It was not a smooth sailing victory by any means. But next man up, and it worked.
Well, they got a lot of studs in the stable, and they have won 11 straight games after starting 0-2. I cannot believe this is happening, and I guess we're going to keep talking about it in shock and bewilderment until it ends, and then we'll just move on from there and see what happens. I don't think they're going to go 80-2, but stay tuned because
Probably
who knows,
not.
They might. This is it for the Garden Report. I almost called you Joe Sway there. For Julian Edlow.
No, back together, buddy.
I'm Jared Weiss, Jeremy Carp behind the camera. This is CLNS Media Network's presentation of the Garden Report postgame show. We'll see you on Sunday.